Good afternoon. I am Vanessa Thomas with the 4 o'clock news on the street, 919 FM, and online Facebook and YouTube. In the headlines, the Prime Minister says Trinidad and Tobago is now better off against COVID-19 after ending the state of emergency. PDP wants Tobago diaspora to help build the private sector, and internationally CVS Pharmacy to close hundreds of its drugstores over the next 3 years. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said on Wednesday that due to its vaccination thrust, Trinidad and Tobago was now in a better place in the fight against COVID-19 than previously. He said this after he sought to justify his motion to end the state of emergency at midnight last night. Noting foreign reports of a fourth wave on infections, Dr. Rowley said it appears the virus will be with us for a long time. He said last May the country had been in a desperate situation regarding vaccine access and so had to restrict movement and gatherings to try to curb people's exposure to the virus. He said last May only 14,000 people were vaccinated, but today 653,000 have had a first dose and 629,000 a second dose. He noted that this is a far cry from where TNT was in May, and as such, the government was now trying to open up the country and not restrict individuals. Dr. Rowley said the country now had a different approach and is in a different position to before and was differently armed to deal with the deadly virus. The state of emergency, which was invoked back in May, has been officially revoked as of midnight last night. The Prime Minister went to Parliament yesterday where he filed a motion for it to be revoked. After his opening statements, opposition members mulled over whether the SOE was effective and the Prime Minister's intentions to end it earlier than its original date. In the end, the motion was successful after all government ministers voted in favor, while all the opposition members abstained. However, although the SOE has ended, the spread of COVID-19 in Trinidad and Tobago will still be governed by the public health regulations, which saw some changes overnight. As of November 18th, which is today, 10 people will be allowed in a public gathering. There will be an increase in the attendance of people at religious gatherings, weddings and funerals, christenings at the facility to 50% capacity. Religious meetings or services must not exceed 90 minutes. Only 25 people are allowed at the actual burial site, cremation site or cemetery. Public swimming pools can operate as safe zones, and consumption of alcohol is not allowed in a public place unless it is on the premises of a safe zone or there is permission from the Minister of Health. In more news, the Progressive Democratic Patriots Deputy Leader Farley Augustine is calling on Tobagonians living abroad to return home and invest their time and talents on the island. Augustine, who is the party's hopeful for Chief Secretary, said on Tuesday if the PDP gets into power, the Assembly would try to woo the diaspora to help build the private sector. The PDP candidate for Palatuve, Lance Formey, Speyside, said the THA, which employs almost 65% of the island's workforce, is one of the reasons the private sector is not as robust as it should be. He said the plan is to implement a robust program to incentivize returning home. Internationally, CVS Health will close hundreds of drugstores over the next 3 years as the retail giant adjusts to changing customer needs and converts to new store formats. The company said today that it will close about 300 stores a year for the next 3 years, nearly a tenth of its roughly 10,000 retail locations, as it reduces store count density in some places. The company said it has been evaluating population changes, customers' buying patterns, and future health needs to ensure it has the right kinds of stores in the right locations. A statement from the company didn't say where the store closures would take place. Years ago, drugstore chains like CVS and rival Walgreens built thousands of locations around the country, that's in the U.S., to get closer to customer homes. But the explosive growth of online shopping has blunted the demand for such in-person convenience. convenience. And that was the 4 o'clock news on the Street 919 FM and online Facebook and YouTube. Recapping the headlines, the Prime Minister says Trinidad and Tobago is now better off against COVID-19 after ending the state of emergency. PDP wants Tobago diaspora to help build the private sector and internationally CVS pharmacies to close hundreds of its drugstores over the next 3 years. To enjoy your afternoon and continue to be safe, Aisha Wells, she's up next.
News from the street. News from the street. 919fm.com.
Ready to ride, yeah. Tobago, protect your future. Preserve your identity. Don't take no chances. They want to divide me. No. Chaos in the assembly. No. Here say your money. No. Them can't my diary.
Don't be precise.
We ready to ride, yeah.
December 6th, take no chance. Protect your future. Vote PNM. Great is the PNM. Tobago, ready up. Tune into our live council meeting on November 18th.
Ready to vote. Ready to wave. Ready to vote. Ready to make we name.
Hi, this is Kenneth Thomas inviting you to a live council meeting from Belgarden.
Feel nobody fire, feel nobody energy, a positive energy, and they cannot damage it.
Meeting begins at 6 p.m. at the Bell Garden Community Center on all major TV and radio stations, PNM's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channel. Hear from the political leader, Tracy Davidson Celestine, and a powerful lineup of speakers. Tune in, click, like, and you must share. And on December 6th, take no